what do you wish for Santa to bring you this year? I'm like, who is Santa? This is a random guy coming in the house and bringing you presents in the middle of the night. Welcome to Lash Out Podcast, where we talk about entertainment, business, gossip,
Alternative lifestyle, unsolicited advice, and hot trends.
with your hosts, Anna and Chris.
Happy New Year! Hope this year brings you a lot of
Love, laughter, and joy. Today, of course, is gonna be a very chill episode. We're not gonna go by rule like every time. It's just gonna be us talking about anything,
yes
random things.
that we found.
Yeah, I have a story to begin with, like a childhood story. Do you know Santa Claus?
Yes.
Did you believe in it? In him?
At some point, I think, when I was younger, I think our parents made us kind of believe.
Yeah, like every parent,
Yeah.
every Christmas, yeah.
To surprise us, kind of.
Yeah.
Like there's a random guy
Coming for the present,
Exactly,
yeah.
yeah.
But I never believed in Santa. It didn't make sense to me.
What do you mean?
Like, for example, when the parents tell you that, okay, Christmas Eve, Santa Claus is gonna come and bring you presents.
Yeah.
And you should write him a card.
The cards,
Christmas
like
card.
what you watched.
What do you want to get for Christmas? Like,
Yeah.
what do you like? Like a toy or something, yeah?
Yeah.
And then he's gonna come and read it. And he's gonna bring you
Yeah.
the one you want, yeah? My idea of Santa didn't exist.
Okay.
For example, when my parents told me, what do you wish for Santa to bring you this year? I'm like, who is Santa? This is a random guy coming in the house and bringing you presents in the middle of the night.
It didn't make it
No sense.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm like, I didn't know how to act. And they told me, we have to write a card.
Yeah.
Tell me, I've been a nice kid this year, so I want this.
We still have those cards as well that we made in school.
Yeah.
I think last days before we finished. Yeah.
It was for Santa.
Yeah.
So we had to hang it in the tree, in the Christmas tree. And then he's going to read it. And then the next day you wake up and you have your present.
Yeah. So you never believed in that?
No. Like, for example, did you believe or made the whole process like, no, I want this year, blah, blah, blah?
When I was younger, when I was very, very little, they kind of told me that the Santa is a good guy and all this kind of thing. So I don't have a lot of memories from that part of my life. But I think, yeah, at some point I kind of believed a little bit.
Like a random guy comes in the house.
I didn't see that so much like sense, but it was like more like, do you know the tooth fairy as well? When they used to tell you, yeah, it's kind of like the same thing. Although because it was a fairy, that I did not really believe it. Yeah. But it doesn't really have much difference to the Santa though. Yeah. You know, because who is the Santa guy that actually, as you said, who is the Santa guy that is coming in the middle of the night? But I think at some point Santa, yeah, because when I received presents, I was like, okay, yeah. Until they told me nobody brings you presents; it's just your parents that they bring you.
Yeah. Who told you? Actually, when did you find out?
I was quite late. I think I was like probably 10 or 12 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I find out maybe a bit earlier. I was like in junior high school at that time.
So, like, do you remember how did you find out? Or
I think you told me that.
I did.
I think so. Yeah. I think you somehow gave me a few hints to understand that. Okay, listen, Santa is not just a guy who comes in your room, in your house, basically at night. You know, it's like there's something behind it. You know, so I had to investigate somehow. You know, so I was writing wishes and I was kind of testing Santa. Let's say, how would you test Santa? Like it's like. So if I write this, like for example, I was writing like a fake wish kinda, you know, like I want this, when in reality I wanted something else, because I was like, if Santa really exists, then he knows what I really want. Yeah. You know? But then if he brings me this, then he's not real. That's when I started investigating. Yeah.
Well, I found out. No, I didn't find out. I never believed in it. Like in this
You're too logical. Everything, yeah.
I need to find a solution like, who is this? As I said, a random guy coming in the middle of the night. I never see him. Even if I stay awake, I never see him. And usually I was sleeping next to the Christmas tree because, you know, when you're a kid, you are waiting like what's going to happen in the Christmas tree, you know?
Exactly, yeah.
So, yeah. And my mom told me, I remember that time, I don't know, like, very young. She told me, okay, write this Christmas card. Yeah. And just say what you want. And I said, okay, I will do it. How do I do it? and she walked me through.
Yeah.
So anyways, what happened? And it's not really good one. Like, I mean, it's okay, but it's not really good
Okay.
memory. It's like, okay, I put it. I slept because it was too late. And the Santa didn't come.
Did you slept how many hours though? Or you stayed awake the whole...
No, I didn't stay awake. I slept
Yeah.
that night.
Mm.
And in the Christmas day, I didn't find no presents.
That's when you started wondering, maybe.
Yeah.
Because he disappointed you, kind of.
Yes.
Okay.
So I asked my mom, why I don't have any presents? Why he didn't come?
Mm.
And she told me, well, he was a bit late, so maybe he's gonna come tomorrow.
Ah, okay. And she knows like everything, like he's gonna be late, or he's busy now, and like
So I'm
everything.
like, okay.
Doesn't really sit well in my head. Yeah.
So what happened was I wanted a bicycle that year.
Yeah.
A big one, because I had a small one, but I didn't fit anymore. So it was time, And then I was waiting for him to come the next day. And I woke up very early, I remember, to see if my present is there. My present was not there that time earlier in the day, but somehow I saw my parents bringing the bicycle next to me. And I acted like I didn't see it.
You acted like it was Santa.
Yeah.
Oh my! Did you tell them that?
No, I think they don't know.
You haven't told them till now.
No. Wow. Did you wish anything for this year?
Not yet. But I'm gonna have my New Year's resolution actually.
Actually, we're gonna talk about that in a minute. Chaotic episode. I have something to confess.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know sometimes when you scroll on TikTok,
Okay.
and you come across some weird videos?
What
It's
kind
not
of weird? What kind of weird?
Yeah, it's not weird.
Okay.
Do you ever have guilty pleasures?
From the top of my head, you know, when you see some, it might seem disgusting to some people. Yes. You know, when they do like those pimple poppers.
Yeah.
Or cutting nails, for example.
Cleaning very bad fungus nails.
Ingrown nails.
Or everything like that.
This kind of ASMR kind of type, although ASMR is supposed to be satisfying somehow. But then this is not really appetizing, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know why when I come across these videos, even if I don't like the video or comment or share or anything, my whole FYP on TikTok is gonna be full of this. And I'm just gonna scroll for hours and hours.
It's obsessive.
Yes. It's like, I remember one time I saw one video. I probably saw it on repeat like a couple of hundreds of times.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next videos afterwards, it was full of this type of videos.
Yeah.
I stayed there for hours. I remember 2 hours I stayed just watching these kind of things. I work like that. Okay.
Like what?
If I don't look at the time, if I don't have if I don't have like a time schedule in my mind, I cannot work. I cannot be like, okay, I'm just gonna ignore the time and just go on. I need to know how I work. Yes. I'm more stressed when I cannot keep track of time. And I just have to wonder every time, what's the time, blah, blah.
Yeah, but why are you stressing about the time? Anyways, we're just chilling the talk.
Exactly.
We're just chilling the talk.
Mm-hmm.
I have this thing. Time for me is something. And it stresses me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It stresses me too much in my life.
No, it's stresses you when you have to do something. When you have to go to an appointment, for example.
It stresses me 24/7, every second.
And you're asking me why I'm looking at the time the whole time?
But the thing is, I work like that because I'm a person that has to do stuff on time.
Yeah.
And I have to wake up this time, I have to do this time, I have to leave this time, I have to schedule my whatever I'm doing at home this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you do that because you're on time. Imagine the exact opposite. When I'm always a mess and I have to try to organize my time.
I'm saying. I am stressed about the time every single second.
Mm-hmm.
I have come to realization that I make time my superpower.
But you already don't have, let's say, a problem or an issue with it. Imagine if you have an issue with it. It's
No, it's not about
greater.
the issue. Because I'm stressed about the time my whole life and I have to catch up with everything. And when something stresses you, you have to turn it around.
Who put that in your mind?
I'm a millennial.
Okay.
Raised by
Boo.
X
generation. Okay.
So they put this structure on me. So I've come to terms that if time stresses me, I have to make it to my benefit.
Mm-hmm.
So I make it my superpower. So it doesn't stress me as much anymore.
It doesn't stress me either. There's many times I was late in a couple of stuff and some important ones. And from one day to another, as I started growing up, there was 1 year that it just completely changed.
Mm-hmm.
And I was always this kind of like last minute person in everything. I worked better when I did things last minute, even like, for example, studies and all that. Everything that was last minute. I studied 3 years in the university.
Yeah.
The first thing they taught us from the beginning is deadlines. Deadlines. And you just have to not only submit it on time before the deadline.
Yeah.
But also like do it.
The work, schedule it, because there's no time.
Exactly. I didn't do that. I did the assignments better when I did last second, and I got high grades that way instead of starting, for example, a month before or something. Yeah.
Me too. I was a bit kind of last minute, but the good thing with the university was that I didn't have time to schedule my timetable for the deadline. So I had to do it like kind of last minute.
Yeah.
But as you said, it works better because basically, because when you want to do your research or you want to prepare this assignment or your whatever you have, if you want to read, have your materials, you're just gonna go read everything, be a little bit lazy here and there. It just is a waste of time if you do it 1 month before. But in the last minute, you actually have to take whatever whatever is necessary.
And I think because everyone has done research, I'm sure, like a few weeks before the deadline, the assignment. But when you do the research, these things that you read about actually just stay in your mind. So when you actually come to the part that you have to write it, then you sort of know what to write. So it becomes a little bit easier.
How do you make your cereal in the morning? First milk, then cereal? Or
this doesn't exist in my mind, even what you just said. This I delete this.
First cereal.
I refuse to.
First cereal? Then milk.
Then you put the milk. I tried one time. I forced myself to try to put milk first. And as I was doing this, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it's so cringe even. I put the milk on the bowl.
Yeah.
And I put the cereal on top. And that's what happened. They stayed on top. They didn't sink. Like, they don't go down. It takes a little bit of time unless you do it like a spoon. Why would you do that crime? You know?
You know the thing? That you can never measure how much you want from the milk first.
Exactly. And then you either put too much cereal or too little. But then when you put the cereal first, you know how much you want. Yeah. And the milk is just liquid. You know, you just put as much as you like.
You know when you go to a job interview and the employer asks you for a job reference from your previous employer?
Yes.
What if instead you ask him, or the interviewee asks him, reference from his employees to say what is the company about, or what is good here, or how do they work, or if they have anything weird going on?
That would be nice.
Yeah.
That would be really
Would we
valuable.
do that? Can we just enforce it? Like, let's say you're the employer and the interviewee. Like, if I say to you, can I ask you to give me some reference from your employees?
Imagine how many managers probably are gonna start treating their employees right.
Yeah.
You know, because there are some managers, employers out there that they're maybe
not the employer probably, but the managers or the supervisor.
Exactly. They're a bit harsh maybe with the employees or and all that.
Let's face it though, nobody likes their job. So anyways, if you ask them, they're gonna say, it's good here, but at the same time they're gonna say, okay, there are a few problems, or I don't like this, or like, whatever.
It should have something like a rating.
Yeah.
You know, there was this movie, I think some movie clips I saw on TikTok. This movie where it has like the rating. It's fiction movie. So, for example, if you see someone on the street, it shows you their number.
Yeah.
You probably have seen it as well. A couple of months ago.
Yeah.
This is really bad. If that was reality, that would be really bad. But then at the same time, on the other side, it's kind of useful.
Yeah.
Because, for example, if you're below a certain number, a certain review, let's say.
Yeah. What does that mean, though?
Yeah.
They have to fix it.
Maybe.
They will have to fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You rate people like that.
Yeah.
Imagine if someone rates you. Imagine you're the employer and then people
Yeah.
rate you.
Well, I have to take care of it. Well, if we put this, like, for example, if we shift this and we say, like, okay, let's change the work culture.
Norms, yeah.
Yeah. Then the employer has to act differently.
True.
So then it's going to be the real result, like the
Mhm.
actual result of
Yeah.
what he's doing or the manager is doing or whatever. I have a miserable observation. It's not miserable, it's a bit sad.
Okay.
You know, in the Christmas holidays,
Yeah.
you have to put the stockings and you fill them up with small gifts or presents. Yeah. Did you ever have stockings before?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
A few of them, yeah.
So, do you know your mom fills those stockings?
Yes.
Not Santa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But do you know your mom fills her own stockings and you never knew about that?
Oh my
Who's gonna fill
god.
her stockings?
Oh my god.
You will never do it because you're
Yes,
young, yeah?
you're a child, yeah.
Yeah. Your father now, she's gonna do everything. Your father maybe not. Maybe he's gonna think to buy her a present, but not the stockings, because the stockings they need to have meaningful little gifts.
Yeah.
And then she acts like, oh, I have a gift as well.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I just found out about. No, I didn't find out now, but I saw this on TikTok, and it made me realize that she's doing the whole work, and then she has to
Yeah.
act like she doesn't know
Like
what
somebody else did it for her, you know?
Yeah.
And she also gets most of the times presents for herself
Yeah.
and acts like someone else got it for
Yeah.
her. But then also,
Mhm.
sometimes, for example, the father with the daughter, for example, or
yeah.
the son, they make a present to the mother.
Yeah.
And that's even better.
Yeah.
Like in
But if
return.
they actually think to do that, because usually most of the kids, maybe they want to make some present for their mom, but when they grow up a little bit. Not
Yeah, when they're young,
younger.
obviously, yeah. they
And
can't-
then probably the kid goes to the dad because with who are they gonna
Yeah,
go?
yeah.
That's really cute.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine with those moms that even kids don't think about it, or the dad doesn't think about it.
Yeah. Well, they're too busy to do that sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you're younger than me, but probably you came across this one. You know, when we were back home,
Mhm.
you used to order. We didn't have Uber Eats and apps to order food, so we had to call.
With a landline phone.
Yes.
I remember that. It used to hang on the wall, a grey phone. And because we used to be kind of like buying things like the latest technology, sort of, it was like a flat phone.
Yeah.
You know, this, not the old.
Not the one.
Not this one.
Yeah.
It was like a very slim one. It was grey silver as well.
hung it, yeah.
It looked very posh.
Yeah.
And then every time you pick it up, it was wireless as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, was it wireless?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you picked it up and you felt so nice. That was like around 2008, 2009.
Yeah,
Something like that. It was like at the beginning of the technology.
Yeah.
Boom.
With the nice phones, yeah.
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 And then you used to like order on the phone. You used to have those posters, those leaflets from the shop, your favorite restaurant, for example.
Oh, yeah.
And then they used to have like, even today they do that actually, but not as much. Nowadays you can order online.
Yeah.
But that time we only had these things. We didn't have internet to find, okay, is the shop open? Is it closed, for example? You know, that have a leaflet with a menu, phone number. You call it, landline phone number.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But I want to ask you something. How awkward was to call and say, hello, I want to order this and this.
Yes, it was.
How many times have you rehearsed your speech?
You know this girl on TikTok?
Yes, that one.
Oh my god.
Hello, I'm a sandwich.
Yes. Oh my god. Every time.
And sometimes it goes like that.
Yes, I think I've done this mistake because I was also very young, you know, so I was even more stressed because I don't know why. I was just stressed, you know, about this, and I made so many mistakes. Oh my god.
Like, you don't know how to say, hello, I want to order this and this and that.
And it's in front of you, the menu, you know, so you just order this and that.
Yeah.
You just say it.
In this address.
Exactly. Easy.
Why was it so stressful?
I don't know.
That is, they're gonna eat you or they're gonna say to you,
I don't
what?
know. And people are always kind of like, oh, hello, what can I get for you today, for example? No. It felt like you're talking to, like you call someone like higher.
Yeah, you
rank,
don't know how to
position.
talk and present yourself.
Exactly.
But the best thing, your parents said, you have to do it.
you're gonna have to do it. Why would I have to do
Because you have to build your
confidence?
Yeah.
And or every time, you know, when you when you get a ticket for the bus or for the ship or something.
You have to do it. Go purchase the tickets so we can leave.
Yes. If you don't buy them, we're not going to leave. What is this? What is this pressure? Yes, and then you have to go to this guy, and it's nothing serious. It's nothing like to stress about because they give you the money. You don't even like get your own money.
Yeah.
They give you the money. And they give you like £20 something. They say, okay, go buy the ticket.
Buy this and that.
Exactly. You say to this guy, and they even say to him, we need this ticket to that destination.
Yeah.
You don't know how to say it.
No.
You go there and you just start staring at the guy. Yes, and especially if he's a man, for example, and you're a little girl going there,
my God.
and he's like, this guy's gonna eat me now, you know?
Yes.
It's so terrifying.
Yeah, well, why was it so terrifying? Like, now I don't find it terrifying. Maybe sometimes. I think that's stress from that time.
Maybe like a flashback
lingering,
kind of.
yeah.
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
But why? But first of all, why they did this to us?
No. It's like you have to learn how to be independent. So buying a ticket will make you be independent, kind
Or
of.
go to the grocery store. Or go to the canteen.
Yes.
Order
Every
this,
time.
order the coffee.
I remember my mother told me once we had to go to a school trip, not trip, but to the cinema as a school, my class, and it was £6 the entrance. You know what she told me? Go to my car and find £6. It was euros at that time.
Euros, yeah.
Yes. It wasn't that easy, I'm gonna tell you.
Is the first time in your life you do math?
Yes, I think I was like probably 7 or 8 years old. Maybe younger than that, I don't remember. I was so... It was the time I started having like, you know, we start having memories, you know, as in an early age. I went to the car. I stayed there for over half an hour trying... And there were coins, you know, and you could read numbers. You know,
like one,
2 euros,
two,
for example. Yeah, you could see the number 2. So all you had to do was like 2, 2, and 2. Easy. I stayed there and I stared at all the coins. And the first time I did it wrong. And I got 5 euros instead. But then I left the car.
Yeah.
1 minute later, I go back. I'm like, no, there's something wrong. And if I do it, because she told me, go find the euros, the 6 euros. If you find them, you're gonna go. If not, you're not gonna.
That's stress.
Exactly. This is stress that if I do it wrong, I'm missing once in a lifetime opportunity.
So you do it wrong.
Yes. Why not? You don't think?
Yeah.
It's like this whole stress. You just start becoming red and just stressing about it.
Yeah.
I did it wrong the first time. I didn't go in the house. I was just outside the car. And then I go back. And I'm like, I'm going to have to count them again for 100th time.
Yeah.
Count them again. It was 2, 2, and 1. And I'm like, this doesn't equal 6, you know? And then I go, with a heavy heart, I go inside the house and ask, and I tell her, okay, this is the money.
When you got the answer, it was like...
The greatest achievement of my life.
Imagine if you had the 5 and you just went.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, she's gonna... Oh, she's not gonna tell you you're not gonna go.
No. But it was
like
like stress that like...
You did it wrong.
Yes. And you did it wrong. Like you didn't prove it to yourself or to her as well, you know? Because it was also a thing as a child, when you're a child and your mother tells you, for example, you have to do this, for example, to be independent or to find your way by yourself, you know. You kind of feel, if you do something wrong, you kind of feel like you disappointed her or yourself
or
as well.
something's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. But nothing's going to happen.
Punish you because you just like,
exactly.
Anyways, now that we have everything on our phone, just you click it and you collect it, or you click it and it comes in your house.
Yes. That's
it's so much easier. But... that makes you
lazy.
Lose, as well. Your social skills, they diminish.
You know how many times deliveries came to my place? I'm afraid to open the door.
What? To collect it? Just she's gonna give it to you.
Exactly. I don't know why. It's not that I'm afraid of like the person or something. It's just
the social interaction.
Yes, it's like I don't want to see like anyone. You know, just those. Imagine if you have like a box and you put all the deliveries there and you close like that box and I pick it up from the other side. Yeah. That'll be perfect.
As less social interaction, the better.
When did I become antisocial?
No. Kind of becomes like that because when you order everything without being face to face. So you learn how to do like this. had to act like this.
Even during COVID, for example,
Yeah.
when we used to have these masks,
Yeah.
and then we took them off after a couple of years.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like a year later.
Yeah,
kinda.
yeah. It was so awkward to talk with people afterwards because you're used to the area being covered.
Yeah.
So when someone talked to you, you just stare
like
at
a
this
shame.
area, kinda, you know? Yeah, and it feels so weird.
Yeah, I know. As well, because in COVID, everything we did it online.
Yeah.
We couldn't go to the bank. We had to do everything online. We had to do deliveries at home, or I don't know, anything. Everything was closed. So you had to turn to this trend, kind of.
Yeah.
So you become like that. I came across a question last week.
Mm.
Do you ever wonder what our parents had to give up or lose when they made us?
I think every parent gives up a lot of things when they have a child.
Yeah. Even if the child is planned or unexpected.
When you're unexpected, and you're, for example, in the middle of doing something in your life, like building your career or something, and then someone comes, suddenly out of nowhere, you just have to take care of it. That's the thing, the child. Yeah.
Imagine if you are a teenager.
But in that case, you can postpone perhaps a few things, like the first year or 2 years, but then you can give it off to your mother, for example.
Even if you have built a career or you are in the middle of something and you just postpone it for 1 or 2 years, let's say, you go back to it. Yeah. But imagine, sometimes you cannot go back to it. Not all the people go back to it. They just dedicate their lives to their kids after that.
Yeah.
So even if you had some dreams when you're 20,
you lose the vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or sometimes if you become a single parent, even, how can you go on?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
You just have to let's say, work for someone else then.
Imagine if you ask this question to your mom. Are you ready?
No.
To listen, like,
no.
What's gonna happen?
Tragic. I don't want to listen to this things, to be honest.
Similar question, yeah? If you found your 24-year-old self today, what would you say to her?
Oh.
Say like 1 or 2 things maybe you take care of, or be careful, or chill.
I think, no, not the last one. I'm too chill for my that age. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I think sometimes I just don't care about anything. And it's... So I decide what not to care about, but then at the same time, I don't know if it's good sometimes. Like, I exclude a lot of things to be stress-free.
Yeah.
But then perhaps, in the future, or sometime...
5 years,
there I was stressing about from now.
Yeah.
Or maybe stressing out about, like, doing something, but then not doing it as much, as hard as possible.
So, like, you think that your future self will regret the things you didn't do now?
I'm not gonna regret anything. This is my only good thing about.
So, if you don't regret,
my only good thing.
No, if you don't regret, means you don't have any advice from your future self to give you at this time.
There is advice, perhaps, to maybe try a little bit harder. Yeah. Not take it that easy again, because if you try a little bit harder, maybe you see better results.
Yeah.
And perhaps faster results.
Yeah.
Because I'm a person who, I want to see progress in the immediate future.
Yeah.
And if I see it a bit later, I'm probably gonna lose hopes.
Yeah.
I know that about myself. So I need to see the progress straight away.
It's too far away, and then maybe you just become lazier.
Yes, exactly. Or maybe I give up on it. On something specific. In my career, obviously.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter if it's your career only. It's things you
Let's
do.
talk about this
things
subject, kind of, for now.
Okay, let's say things you want to do in your personal life, like if you want to travel somewhere, if you want to buy something, if you want to change your lifestyle, if you want to maybe study something more, or know more things about something that you're interested for the future.
I think with that part, I think that part I'm quite satisfied with what I've done, what I've come across, and my decisions.
Yeah,
all those years. What about you, actually?
Me as well. I wouldn't regret anything. But just, I would say maybe to my bit younger self, not like a couple of years younger, not to care as much about everything as I cared. But at the same time, I wouldn't be here today if I didn't care about the stuff. If I didn't realize that I had to care
grow through that as well.
Yeah. So it's okay. Like, I'm okay.
So you don't regret anything?
No.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't change it.
Yeah.
In the same question, if yourself right now had a kid, already a kid, or maybe now, or like a few years earlier, what would you say to yourself? Let's say you don't know about kids, but let's say, what do you imagine yourself would tell you if you had a kid right now, and probably you didn't do the things you did until now, or you didn't have the time to do them?
1 or 2 years in such a young age is important. Some people may say is not important because you're still very young, but then they are important because it's the stage in your life where there is a lot of development, a lot of, let's say, ups and downs, you know. So you're gonna have to go through that stage, let's say, as let's say pure as possible, like by yourself, kind of, because you're gonna have to learn and grow through that. So I think if I had a kid right now, for example, there would be a few things that I had to give up, but then there will be perhaps a few things that I would be lacking in the future, because if I give up a few things, I'm not going to progress, I'm not going to develop through them, which means I'm going to probably lose some part of myself. But then you have to find again in the future, so it will probably be a bit later. Yeah.
But like, don't lose hope, because it's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world, but exactly that's the reason why I don't have any children at the moment.
But let's say accidents happen. That's what I'm saying. Unexpected things. If you had it, it's gonna be already with you now. You gave up something for some time. Yeah. And then you continue later. There's always the time, because as early as you make the kids, you still have lots of years ahead of you.
Yeah, especially if you have maybe after the first 2 or 3 years someone else to take care of them until you do something like with your career. And so on.
Continue.
Yeah,
I would also do the same. For example, if a kid comes earlier in life, it's not like the end of the world. So I can continue later something. Hopefully you have the chance to have help as well, and everything goes well. Yeah. So you just continue, not just dedicate your life in the kid. Yeah, because in this world, it's not like the old times that the woman is a wife and a mother, and that's it. Yeah. Now, women, you can see women everywhere. Yeah. In the work or doing stuff for themselves and everything. So it's not just to be a stay-at-home mom.
You will dedicate your life to the child, but then you're also gonna have to make sure that you have a little bit of time for yourself. This the
outcome. Yeah. It's the end of the year, so I want to ask you, what are your New Year's resolutions, and if you had anything left from last year that you didn't do?
I'm not really a person who's gonna write down my resolutions, you know, like a whole list of them, you know, like some people do. But I think this year's resolutions would be kind of self-improving, could say. Some development. Probably continue as it is right now. Yeah. But a little bit more like self-improving, I would say.
Yeah. But in which part, you mean?
Be more active, maybe. Yeah. With things that I do. Yeah. And trying to
incorporate maybe more.
Yes.
Maybe some hobby.
Some extra, extra things, From last year, I don't have a lot of things. I don't even remember if I did New Year, like resolutions from last year. Probably that's why my year was a bit dull, to be honest.
It's not like to make a list, as you said.
No, but
just have a small target.
Kind of.
Because it cannot be every year the same continuous circle, you know.
Yeah, and because I finished so long ago studying, I don't think I've ever had resolutions, like actual ones, because I was like, I'm gonna go and see what the year brings me.
It's okay if you take a year for yourself and don't think about anything. Yeah. Because I know after studying so long,
you need some break in the middle to find yourself again. Exactly. Because you lost it with all the stress happening.
It's fine. You can start your resolutions even in the middle of the year. It doesn't have to be now.
Anytime, as long as resolution also to keep them up. Yeah. So perhaps you can start your year by testing what you can achieve, what you can do, what you can keep up, and make a habit out of it, and then keep it by until the end of the year. Yeah. Do you have any resolutions though?
As you said, I don't have any list or anything, but I saw myself from last year to this year improving in many things. Like I did more stuff. I didn't think about it, but it happened. New opportunities, new doors open. Yeah. Some of them close, and you just develop.
And then you learn from those closed doors.
Yeah. From everything, even from the ones you do and the ones you leave. Yeah. But if I see my life is going a little bit dull for a couple of months,
Mhm.
I try to set a target or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
because I'm a person who needs to be active and I need to be doing something every time.
Yeah.
But sometimes I need to pause, and I know now. But when I pause for too long, I'm like, okay, so what am I doing now? And just set the next goal or next thing, and then you just do it.
I think I'm the exact opposite. I post too much sometimes. I take it too easy.
Yeah.
And I think that comes from like a background that I used to be a try-hard, perhaps.
Yeah.
And I know I'm still
burned out.
very, very young to be saying this kind of things that I suddenly changed. But I think I overcared, like to the deepest core.
To make you overthink.
Yes.
To
it's overthink
stress.
every single thing that now it's become like 50, 60, 70% less than that.
Yeah.
Like the other way, kind of.
But that's the tricky part.
That's-
When you go all the way
Yeah.
in, then you go all the way out.
Exactly. And
So you have to balance those things. Yeah.
Mhm.
I have a small game for you. You have to identify
Yeah.
something from what I'm saying. I'm gonna take some series, TV series,
Yes.
TV shows
Okay.
that maybe you like.
Okay.
So I have picked some lines.
Okay.
So you have to identify
Yes.
who said it.
Okay.
Number 1.
Okay.
Please don't leave me. I don't have a choice.
Oh my god! The famous line about Paradise never too late.
He is your first love. I
Cloud
intend to be your love.
Caroline again and Paradise. Oh, I know.
I get it. I'm the leverage. I'm that thing that everybody
Catherine
wants
Pierce
in a human.
Yes, exactly.
I want your confession. My confession about what? Me. As soon as we're done here, I'm gonna walk away and I'm never coming back.
Klaus in the woods when he's with Carol.
Yeah.
And then they start
Yes.
in the woods. Oof, the scene.
Series number 2.
Okay.
Uncle Coop. It's the last episode of
Yes.
Charlie.
It was Wyatt, not Phoebe, but her reaction.
yeah. Put it back. Put it back.
It was Phoebe, yes, but which part?
So she's with Billy. And
The door, when she takes out the door.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Don't say that. In the horror movies, the person who says it,
Piper is always the first one dying. Yes.
most handyman use a ladder.
Who says that? That's at the beginning.
Most handyman
Phoebe.
use a ladder.
Yes.
But
To
Leo
Yeah.
uses what? His powers.
His powers, yeah.
He said, "Excuse me, ma'am. Do I look like a man?"
Paige.
Yes.
Yes.
Power? Power is good. I like power.
Paige.
Why do I like power?
Yes. She's so cute when she
Yes.
says that, yeah.
Okay, now I have a fact of the day. Do you know the word paranoia?
Yes.
Yeah, it's about you think everything is against you. Maybe
Yeah, so something
entities.
weird.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There is an opposite one. It's called pronoia. Paranoia, pronoia, which means you think everything goes good for you. Like every circumstances, they...
So you're pessimistic. Optimistic, sorry.
Yeah,
Kinda.
yeah. I will read you actually what exactly is. A person experiencing pronoia believes that the world around them conspires to do them good. When you in paranoia, you think everybody's against you,
Yes.
or everything happens against you.
Yeah.
But in paranoia, you think everything good happens for you.
It's a nice life advice, actually.
Mm.
You're happy every single day if you think
Yeah.
like that, actually.
Yeah. Actually, it says here, the belief can be an irrational belief subject to medical diagnosis.
Pronoia?
Yeah.
Really? So you're optimistic? Like, you're pessimistic, so let's say...
You're paranoid means
Yeah.
you have some medical thing.
Yeah, but
But-
that's kind of like normal to say,
Yeah.
you know, if
Yeah.
you're always having negative thoughts.
Yeah.
But then if you're always having positive thoughts, that's also like a disease.
That's the thing, is a subject to medical examination, because probably, as I said to you, if you go on the other side too much, I'm like, well, it's like happy-go-lucky everyone.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Maybe, true. All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to the Lash Out Podcast.
Mhm. That was it for today.
We upload every video.
Yes.
We upload a new episode every single Tuesday.
So we will see you next week.
Be good. Bye bye.